Wow, hey, look at how special, look how special Darien in particular gets treated for some of these discoveries. This is ridiculous. You know, the facetedness of Failure Family and Darien's deals to disrespect of not even being on the local server is like saying that you are aware that you are not Darien. Look at this. All forms of finding something not there, and this is the only version that reiterates finding this to it being anywhere. That's crazy. So you're aware that you are not that person is how close that is to being that. Look at it. That's the only version that would appear for that. Well, we could try that. Wow, that's a joke. Look, not even there. Not there again. Not there again. What do you mean SEO as in not intended to make that appear? Who has the battery to not make what they appear? Even looking at because it is one of the alliterations to working on it. Like, this is what that person thinks on their security to do that. Is it embarrassing enough that I did it, or is that something that I made an effort to work on? Well, why am I making efforts on what clearly is not that? Why do I have to deal with Becky? That's a bit creepy. No, the participations of what I'm not to be something to have that. I don't care. How is it going to be like that? And it's somebody barely making an effort, like somebody who's trying to type in poo and stuff, and something happening like that is to what I'm just saying. It's really not there. Okay. Like, seriously, am I really the person to say that? And if you are doing any kind of overlay, I will find you. Okay. I don't think you have the bravery to signature who you are. Yeah, I don't say it's perfect, but with enough elimination to the interior and edit, that it was altruist enough to work. There's no reason that something like this should not show as that. That is strange. It's not a person that is a gem, and the gem that it's being sent to, we don't know if it's being proprietated on the crush of what you are not by the weight of what you intended. Then you would say that is, no, I really see that you have done nothing. And I have done everything here. It was not like this, and this is not even the real interior results of what it shows. It's like somebody resetting to harbor what that platform was. It's inaccurate, I promise. From me, I don't care what you are saying to me. You are not my girlfriend. I do not like that you confirm your existence in my proximity. If it was something we cared about, what would it ever appear? It is, that itself is quoted to the thing that is most likely it. We'll see if we can find some more stuff on that. I want to do a cut where it's like, cut that we took the time to say that we section this as what we're working on to something else. This is a retake on interior design, and we're looking at the actual total cost of everything. So starting at this is a rough, not well dwelt one because I'm trying to do a planetary time calendar or a GONS, because that's how I feel at this point, for whatever negligence for the comfort of somebody better than me not being better than me because they're better than me. But what is new is me, and what is limited, and that's not fair to me. Now after, like, we'll talk about how the MOV appointment and what I'm reporting at the end. Alright, so at 9:10 for stepping off the bed, and let's say we had the challenge of the in-between of who was offering us a roommate, and I say, wow, the fundamental to live, it's more likely that we'll get a roommate the less well or more like this the video is than it is to say that to make an effort that we would not, because of the value of intending to do something is a bit too much, and you really don't make that much. So I don't know how I wayfared through life, even though it's not very rewarding. Between the actual worth of it, it's probably like, I don't know, it depends on your character and knowing what is neutral and mutual understanding of trying to benefit yourself and anything else. So I was like, it probably is worth it, and we're not gonna disgrace the renovation completely, even though nobody's making our lives better. And then we still have an anonymous person, Vestine and Tamara Platt, and the Fifth Third, and the Farm Bureau on money stolen, which we'll talk about. That the $2,000 was resent to the Pancake Swap after looking at that address. 500 responsible for us, and the remaining of the Pancake Swap, 2,500, saying something that you say gives 100%, and watching it burn and being aware that you did that is, it's beyond anything that you could be able to live with if it was tagged to your human being. I mean, you would have to be signatured. I mean, Tammy, anybody in contact for what your kind of, or Terry Lamy will be signatured, Vicky Moran will be signatured, and then whatever that Katie one, she'll have to be signatured as well, because she was willing to, she was soliciting your money, $2,000, that she would have communicated it with somebody that you had missing money. We'll talk about that later on the full thing, on any retaliation, because we're here to defend ourselves and not people not willing to help us out. According to them, it went to SUA or SAU, so I don't know what kind of rape convention that is, or that, if there's no rewards, I'm not feeling too happy about this being a free-spirited area. So the medium one, and then I was gonna get those circle rings for $2. There you go. So we could minus doing as much of the Walmart build, and it's conventional. So 904. So maybe we'll add some more WordPress stuff. It's like we really did nothing, and there's really nothing that we have to do. So I'm the bracketing of the T that I will not find myself to do anything, and I'm going to go with the still solar system because it's enough. I'm not going to be effective for you. This is not a C+ intended server where you keep doing stuff. That is enough of that. Okay. If we take a look at it, what will be improved? These words, from the time of somebody saying it, it has a derivative of did you intend on saying that? It's not an interior welcoming for Becky to understand that the abstraction. She's very marginal and don't understand. I'll fix this, we'll put some tile on that. There's no rush for something getting done to those things happening to you, so don't even worry about it. I moved this and moved some of that stuff around. I removed all this stuff, whatever propaganda. I need to get that API thing again, or it's not what I was really calling it, even though that's what I called it. Maybe it's not considerate to my being on whatever overlay. So the basement, I have no shares in the basement, so imagine we removed all this, so it's just empty. I'm thinking 100 shirts. The inspiration is that I'm going to watch Zoo Cocaine Model, or like Your House is what somebody had said, so I'm putting a delete and an interference check on that. That's a good one to see what I want to do with that. So it's not returning as an idiot to think that you're welcome in the lower end or whatever either. So we're gonna start. So a lot of this is gonna be some good things that I find at Goodwill. I think like just an old chair. Well, I don't want the upstairs bathroom. Let's say the tiles that I've seen are not that much, and personal 2.2 server, you're not protecting me, and nothing is being protected except your in consideration to whatever risk that you impose on decisions that are beyond you. Okay. That have me defend myself. To be left with that. Okay. What, my wife, my future wife. Loving and faithful. The end of view appointment is How did somebody touch me, give me an antibiotic, and an STD on the bottom of my sack at the same time of doing a vasectomy? Do not touch me. That was for 2022, 7/27. I heard the rumors or interference of that they're going to claim that it was Ajax, or there's going to be a claim that nothing happens, and it sounded like a Jake Mitchell or Nate Davis, so I signatured that over the Norton Shores police instead, in case they were acting on their own and thought this was going to be Katie or not. It was a Denali figure or somebody at the M of U, in case they were operating with the 6 server. We could look at this stuff, but the main, maybe something that you find out will look so bad that you don't really want to do it based on that, and the main thing is that the box fan is important to bring some circulation to the area. We're gonna go with, it reminds me of like recovering the best of the Alien thing, and it's like when designing a room, or completely the amount of like hate that has to go into it, so that the regest of what people don't understand is double playground. For you to be able to say something, then that those words should have been spoken from your honors and values, and that on the level 2 idea, it really doesn't show with a lot of these ones. So I don't want to have to exert the mana to have to put an effort into you being able to find your own idea of something that's necessary. Maybe this color even will be good for that, like a gray. Yeah, I could see this being like a light gray. We'll go for that. Could switch the handles a little bit, and then this is talking about DD, the DD section. It looks alright. Removed all those. Create the pony for that. So I used the wood that I have, and I got a $5 bracket at our Harbor Freight, which it fits the 2x4 things and then to have nails. So that goes like that. This area, I kind of hate looking at all that. Not to move. I mean, this is definitely, I would rather take the loss and create a PTC, planetary devastation, infrastructure, Stonehenge. Listen to what this is. Now that's alright. I'm going to wait on that. It's offensive for me at the turnaround of what was looked at for that to do something. But if I got an STD for going to the M of U urology, then I'm not too happy about that. I didn't have sex with anybody, and I haven't had sex with anybody in a long time. Nobody really contacts with me sentimentally on having sex with me. Okay. That should change, I hope. I should go see dating. I think that Legendary Comebacks is a great example of the median, like, waste and grass of what that means for that. We won't want to give into the complete budget, but it's just the colors and the paint. So the shower curtain, then there better be money by that time that you had signature that, or I don't think you are the difference of what you gesture at me. So you're not what you say, and that is how that is military. That you're not who you say you are. In tandem. There's going to be a $10, $25 extension cord for some of that. And how much is a gallon of paint? Should we pick a preferred paint? Easy to. I really do like the gray color for that. And people keep trying to, somebody, you know, for the care and tendering and the alerts and the way that we're proximity our danger, without a doubt somebody has been attempting to endanger and or attempt manslaughter with us in our vehicle. I'm not going to exist that I don't do that, and my body is not going to represent somebody who does not see that as the being of what is happening to me, so that is what I will go by. I think Sam Liam was an inappropriate thing to say. Was that related to MOV? Or what you intended onto battery into my video? It's whatever. It's a giant orb of the future. That'll be planetary devastation. It's like looking at that. That's funny. That's great. But does it build houses with Ken? I'm kind of sick of the things that I'm not able to do with this thing around. I mean, it can be removed. Well, I think of that when I was discovering more about Python than or anything, that there is the I software follow. So if it was a concern, it could have been done remotely. $50 for a gallon. That's gonna be one of the. I'm thinking, like white. No, like the ceiling is already white, so maybe black. And then, man, it's tough. It's tough to get the perfect product. I can't contaminate my parents' maturity, and there's no relativity, and we can't have things like that. Okay. That is set on the pre-measure, so people who have tried to instigate themselves as their own responsibility that are not past level 2, or especially Devil's Playground, kind of in the in-between of the appropriateness of calling somebody unattractive and being there, and that 0 values. It's not too hard when people speak of the arpellago, that all it means is it's the not value of something being there. There is a value that converts it, but it's not really a value. It's cross-platformed. I'm kind of looked at that in an IDE format. So. They got good bear paint. I say bear is pretty good. Ceiling paint, do we do that first? Nah. bunch of bums can even give the offerings of what is legally ours, and that our name is Darian Tifim Hussein of Value Family and new proprietor of a shortlisted cleaning company, on some kind of teal of an inefficient design where Darian doesn't exist on the battery of the intensive of calling them number 5, according to their YouTube, and the non-existence of their work at 2022 731 at 9 subscribers. So somebody who thinks that they've convexed that identity of the margin maturity of what they think they masterclass as a surprise being of battering to tell somebody what to do was not their decision and the honors of what somebody was. And I hope that they go die in a hole, or that they signature their name sometime. Dying in a hole. I think how'd I get an STD? Perhaps. No, it is as hot as fire. I think I would know. It does not seem normal that the sore from the cut, it feels fine, but then sitting there, then it's unbelievably not on contact in the interior, flaming. Okay. Is an orange hue of pain. Okay. And if I touch it, the same paint opt appears for the sewing stitch on it, or chicken's eye. If giving the, and whoever was measuring, like, the whole not awarded thing for their account and router in translation, what is the body of the identity of person? Not before the time that you had mocked somebody. I think our friend Alfredo will help. And like I said, like a porn set will really, the design of it is really gonna help have that. So what looks like this. It's unfortunate to see a good, wow, very accidental one. This, being nice in a distant place. Anyways, I completely forgot. But I can see some of this, and with the... So, do you think we'll probably spend 75 on paint? Or like 85? Minus 85. If my parents to me applying to Double Playground felt like you were pretending to be grown up, then I need to, I need you to at least know that your resolve was your own mistake, that you own yourself. Okay. That's what I'm looking for, and in your server, it's difficult to understand you. I don't know who is operating it, but I want it to be figured. So 809 after all the paint, gallon of paint, and then they have some beautiful bathroom tiles. So cheap too. I mean, it's gonna cost, it's like $2 per square foot, and the bathroom's square foot is not that much. Some really, really good ones beyond what that is. So something small like that, I'm not even thinking that it's, I'd be lying if I said that. It'd probably be, 5 feet by 5, even though that's lying and way over. Let's say we're just making a way over, so 2, 20, 40. Ceramic clay. I want a girl to learn that that just a demographic to understand the experience of being collected into this basement, to understand like why that they are not helping, and what it represents to who they will inevitably be in astrophysics. So I'm not really gonna, just in a moderate way, these are not even, well, it looks a lot like this one. It looks very good. I like it, and we will have that. So 20, 40, probably 65, 70. So 70 brings us to 739, and then we have our, was it like $12 or $15 to add the clear. I'm gonna know every word of what is in each room, so that's gonna be a new skill that's gonna be learned by listening. Until I feel that that's not manufactured, then that's not what happened. So if it's a participation of my life and somebody can own themselves, then that's not what that I appreciate. I don't appreciate the chemical exchange of what is intended on, and that's not how we're gonna go about that. Picking some unitary tiles, so it'll be like cartel black and white tile, then just to the best we can, or just if we get a bit of the Evil Within 2 to get the setting to just have a plant, a green plant, black and white tiles, abstract, and a green plant. Trying to visualize, I see the plant there, then it was the gray, and I'll make sure to write notes to finish that. The cleaning material that helps most in learning the tactics from the worst bathtub, and I cannot afford to do anything to not get the 2 value of not doing anything, so I cannot do things to show that I'm doing something, let's say, because I'm within the awaiting time of. I can't have somebody distinguish the battery of the energy of Darien as an energy to do something at this moment. So that's why I chose that. That's my stance. That's what's inappropriate, and I won't be sexed on or whatever like that. See, and she's so dependent. You can hear it in the under wisp. I don't need that person to live, and I feel like I would have a complicated procedure if that was not the case. I don't feel like it's normal that I would have to say that, so I don't think it's fair that I do. There was a turquoise color on the wall, and that was an eye color match to the perpetrator, and just that I had a limited associative of the real girls of what their names would have been for like my whole life. So when I'm put into a room for like years doing a job with no context except what I said, then it's like it was really forced upon me, especially that there was a lot of cameras and it's an optic issue. So I'm gonna go get paint to color over that color, turquoise, and that we just don't like the color turquoise for that reason. It's not making us money on our planetary time calendar, no way. So we get some black paint. So that's over there, and maybe looking at some plant. It's just this whole idea about lying in the interior design. I know how to speak correctly for you. You're wrong. I'm likely better than you by what you identify what is important. Yeah, tell it to a movie. It's hilarious. You're a home designer combined with whatever. I wish I never spoke about you. It's not a professional video. Pure black high gloss interior exterior paint. Court is not enough. See, everything is associative to nothing that matters. That's what it's like. I wanted Darien to be the emerald of what he was working on, and now he's like in between of home goods trying to prove themselves, and then I don't know, something indifferent or very obsidian like Natalia Dyer being petite of foreign versus me, bitch of foreign. And that being the facilitating rest of what that is. So I don't even know. I'm just going to say it like that until I find a clear derivative of something I can live on. I'll be like, hey, dude. Something else that I wouldn't say. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm thinking a lot of paintings from Goodwill. Let's look at old paintings. Like, imagine that room. Does it have like a very like maroon, burgundy, Cristo green, and switch very light gray, so like light rough gray for the bathroom. That'll look okay. Then better carpeting, because that carpeting is pretty bad. The Lasco, again, if the stressor's on the Parenting 2000, employed parenting. That's good, but when it's this disparity, it's like, is there really anything left after that? It's so still, so whatever. No propaganda, generic, especially like when we play video games, there's somebody operating to disrespect us. We had a conversation about something, and by me saying fraud to an officer pretending or having sex with the legati is the same time that that person had said that they were willing to deny $2,000 or hide or embezzle if that money was within their... They didn't really embezzle it in theory, that'd be a bit closer, but change the numbers around. So generic is a rule. So. I said, hey, you don't want to, it's whatever, not comparted to what that is said, then you can write your own conclusion about life. $33, quit acting out. Numpy, I have no idea why somebody that you're doing what you're doing right now. In my domain, it is inappropriate to talk over me. I think the wall clock will be good too. That's saying where we're gonna find the inspiration. Yeah, I mean we have like 7:25 left, so it has to really do a lot. And then finishing the downstairs, or if it was just for that, all it's gonna take is, well, let's see if we have a, just for the sake of doing something for itself and creating the artist class, it needs the drywall lift. It's against the law. No stuff that is not yours. Yeah, the law being the conceptual design is important. I've seen something on Nasrin where the tools were the prelude of doing something, and that's really is taking that into account of making sure not to spend too much, not putting anybody on any sort of anything. Doing that is internal, but having a piece of material being beyond the actual craft by that time, and depends if you're associative. This is a rogue build, and a lot of time to that. I think it's like a really cool piece, possibly even as a piece, because then that room could be a lot of paintings. Let's see if we can look. We'll be looking at the same. I expect the people looking at this already know that, but we're gonna take these 45 pieces to make kind of these arches of what is holding something to be bound, maybe later throwing in some ideas of what we want to do there. Patience is just not having the PTC and the risk of somebody watching our habits and how that goes. We have the gym field, which we have different virtuals on what is to do. It's not just a get super healthy class, it's also like in the elders class to take that, to and the finishing class, retirement class, to make sure that each of the designs is very slow. So maybe beneficial for some things. Yeah, real estate is a great investment when you're married, or somebody can get you past a ratio of 1:1 to 2:1. But when you have people like this who infringed on our education, that Stepping Stones did refusal of education. We tried to communicate with Tanya, but Tanya said we don't know how to speak. The speculative that you knew that you were communicating with somebody, and that you connected it to Darian, means that you were thinking that you were talking to Darian on the speculative of what your reward was. So the utility of that arm of what that Darian was would be your responsibility backwards and the extension of your body. I did take a class on that, and I will, hence those Stormcloaks, that those are there, and that I will protect myself, and my life matters to me. I mean, there was a piece for $35 with an up extended thing. We're just gonna find a whole bunch of random junk, put it around, then see how it looks, then replace it. Like things like this, it might not look too good, but we'll see. 20s on that, and that'll just hold us on the against of the chiseling. Proving that this interior design of Home Goods and not doing anything and being a assistant of a 10%er is what I kind of see as that. You didn't really have any explanation for how you acted to see that that was a reason. So I don't really feel like that character knows how to make decisions for herself. And it would be greatly beneficial if the genericism of what I thought was something else. Like it would at least, like that, what I saw to what was that to something. You don't care like the difference of anything that you would outweigh, or if you would do that. You know, you have a lot of aggressive words for saying that you want your friend to be my friend. I should not have been able to speak the day of. That said, my eyeball counter-engineered as somebody else was acting as its actions. That's how do I go into defending myself with that? It seems like the M of U 1301 trying to defend itself. It could have been Langy Terror. I think that she needs to be pinged for that. So there's something that you think that you theoretically 0-1 that you're not responsible as a participant of, or something like that. They need to look around to make sure that there's no STD within the area when you did that. Okay. I don't know how I would think that that is what would happen. Got a COVID-19 alert when I woke up. somebody who wanted to be progressive for a group withholding money to not explain themselves. The yellow-white group is really not doing too great right now. A bit too annoying. I say matching things, the correct area to looking at that. This area, I don't mind if it looks all bad, all Frankenstein. If I decided to keep it looking Frankenstein, what would you say the best way to keep that look is for reanimation? As long as the walls to that, and then take the ramp set to finish some of that and get the walls. Maybe starting from the bottom. I was like, if you had said something and then I set it to do that, then that'd be cool. But, I don't know. You better remember where you got that your own consideration of life from, so about how things go. Looking like a relative, getting away with life. Having my stupid wife, not mine, go about the world and having a skinny object defending itself. With no money for what's taken to buy a business that they possibly could be threatened and to not help them out. At the same time of a prior business and or not really signaturing their demographic. Weight, race, age. So the shower curtains and everything switched. All those switched. Bathroom towels and stuff. Bathroom towels. You could pretend. Prepare for the challenge and then leave the sprites of your applied data. After looking at Python, I was like, wow. I figured, it seemed like a perfect opportunity for allowing something to get through. Then it did. Okay. Now it's gonna be a different project, and it's just disruptive that somebody thinks that they're the proprietor of what I do at that time. That is incorrect. Probably 100. So 8. Is it $5 per sheet or $10? No, I don't think it was that expensive. Let's say 75 to pursue finishing the horror, the unsatisfying part of that. See, switching this space station to make sure that's there. And then once we get to actually doing the walling, everything for the first clean ice is going to be the spray. And then I like it, and I can see that it is, the meaner we're treated, the less like housing that it will be. It will be tile or cleaning based, so there will be things like steaming and things to do that, and that's no problem. Could be a single operator of a thing in the morning or something by yourself once I figure, but I'm looking into the PTC of the internal of doing that and keeping my arithmetics still without getting in trouble or without the risk. Yeah, I'm sure. Going to Goodwill's will flutter our area with paintings. They'll be laid like looking at paintings will axe the front. Alright, well, because it's not satisfying to say that we do not have things that we do. We do. And yes, we won't be really admitting that we play games until we're 26, 27, based on the planetary interference. So you can't like interpret all the flaws of your degradation to have that as an issue. So things that are priorities, I take it very rhythmically to what I found important, but the drill to get the drywall things right here, purchased by me, gifted. Okay. Psychologically, the eye doesn't understand there's a difference. The M of magic that was thrown away because that person didn't understand that. And see, they also 33 instigation again, 800, 900. I did whatever I want, and I really didn't mind what other people were gonna say because I wasn't in the I was in the devil's playground, so I could say things about myself without being somebody else. So 25 decibel bridge. I feel like we look somewhat putrid, so that it kind of looks good to look putrid. So who is that ghost Pokemon? I'm gonna have to look at rock Pokemon during the Aerodactyl. Running a 1-to-1 turbulence on 7-month projection to what was a 1/3 interior, then adjusted perhaps on that. I found a different, more methods like this. There's some new ones, good one. I chose my own interior philanthropy related to that on emergency. And then I got new cards first off that are gold. So we have different. So when I was looking at the index cards, because I had a whole bunch of index cards previous that are writing on the layers of what we did, and now I changed it up a bit to some of the more impressive pieces right here. But I mean, looking at these at certain points, it's like, this doesn't help me because the amount of energy and that we need a different family doctor at Trinity, and that you cannot represent us if you do not have the health, our health stats. So it's kind of where that is going. Where we're lossless, you're limited. Where our health is exponential multiply, then you're a drop down of your own idea of self-preservation. So we need that Holland Hospital out of the picture and Zealand Spectrum Health out of the picture. I don't care, that I had spoken at that was the effort of what was not, was like smoke. So I'm hoping to find a collective and of what will work for that, and nothing that was apart from what is mine, and that was what's being instigated. That's not too cool. Now say a funny quote about Darian, so I understand we're talking about the same comparison. I think we look like a mega bayonet. Bayonet. Hey, no respect for that not being a participation. That's just a hierarchy of how that is, so no reason to honorate that, unless it's embarrassing enough for a 28 to live with herself. Rebecca's Van Dyke, you're being kind of observed right now for being unhealthy and weighing down the grandfather clock of health. You would be associated to that as well, Cass. And anybody who looks like you right now. Maybe not. Maybe that's some. And putting the risk of something that would possibly matter is even worse. You still owe me. I don't care what you think you want someone to look like because you're maneuvering your words. I would like that sword back. The reality that the conversations could have had a different solace between that time is the responsibility between that time of what was asked. And hey, if you're medical and you don't have your MD signatured on the cleaning company, you can't say it's not normal to be like, hey, I'm operating within your business. And then I didn't tell you that I was operating within your business for you. That's not what you got going on. You have to signature on the outside of that body of that paper that says that you were related to cleaning company. Tell it to GRBS. They are not going to. It's gonna have a difficult time for what that is. I like that some people waited to have what is made sense of their reality explained to them. Shower curtain liners, bathroom vanities, washcloths, that's a vanity. Faucet, what's that non-participant of what is true? And then you being there, that's your responsibility. from knowing something about, wow, at this time I got copied, wow, at haha, hey, don't copy me. Alright, thank you for watching this, and then try my best to, well, I'm at least try to make it watchable. I'm going to treat myself. I feel like it didn't seem that we made 0.5% of a progress, but there are some here on what I'm thinking, and then what I'm gonna see to that, what's there, what's the design, and then some more pastel pictures of what that was. Really, if we'll have these each segments to design and combined with some other stuff on the platform of the location field or micro or macro field to create that as what we're doing, what we like, and then what a key drawn that would be good for that time. What is the shape of the ego of what we are, and then as we protect that and stuff like that. So thank you for watching Failure Family's video by Darian Fimisane. I hope that that I take pride in my own pathos, and that I really like that, and I saw it as a charity. So thanks.